Hey everybody, Radaman here. Thanks for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included. A little reminder of the scenario settings, rules, and goals of this series. Last episode, we launched our rocket. So here it is at this carbon asteroid. We launched it with 5 research modules. So we will be able to fully research this asteroid and bring home data that we'll be able to use to uncover more components. The piece Saturn 55 is going to take 2.7 cycles. It's underway, and, yeah. I am excited about that. So one thing I'm going to need to do is make sure that these bunker doors are open when the piece Saturn returns. Otherwise, kablamo, a lot of things will get destroyed. No pressure there, right? No pressure there. So, last episode, I started to work on the monument. We already have a monument base here, right? I can sort of change the way it looks, I suppose. Like if I stepped on a bunch of hatches or collected a bunch of eggs, you know, so on and so forth. I would say science. Science has been our great motivator. So, the next section of this monument here requires ceramic, plastic, and steel. So I have the plastic, I do not have the steel, I do not have the ceramic. I'll be, right now I am cranking out the ceramic. As you can see, I have a large ceramic queue in the kiln. And that also means that I need to, make steel. If I'm making steel for that monument, I am almost certainly going to need some more fossils. I've been relying on fossils for my my steel manufacturing, and that hasn't changed. So here we go. Let's continue. Why is this unreachable? Can't bridge this gap, maybe? Oh, I see. I see. Let's just dig like that. So, I will, at some point, likely just sort of run out of fossils to grind up into steel, but I'm not at that point yet. I'm not really going to worry about that inevitability if I can help it. So for now, I'll just exploit the resources at my disposal. Wonderful. The other project that I was working on was one of volcano taming. I'm just going to tame the gold volcano that's here, and I'm going to do it really as simply as I physically can, which is to say, it won't be all that complicated. By design, I'm trying to keep it simple. What does this power? This powers, that powers a lot of important stuff. Unfortunately, this power transformer is going to get broken down. Briefly. I need to move it. So I'll be keeping an eye on the star map. We are 2 cycles away. So yeah, looking at the time, I'll try to memorize. I'm not great at this, but I'll try to do my best not to destroy my bunker doors, because the monument that we're building requires a significant amount of steel, and if I destroy my bunker doors, I've in effect ruined the steel that I was going to use for the monument, so it's best if I don't do that. And let's rotate it. There we are. Oh, right, I forgot about this as well. The gate here that we had, I kind of made it go kaput. Okay, so now we have power back on. No, we don't. No, we don't. We will have power back on here. And the whole purpose of this is so that I can get a transit tube sort of past this point. Right, so this right here is in the base, technically. What I'm going to be doing is walling this off outside the base unless I need it sometime in the future. So that I can send a transit tube at least through the eastern edge of this and not have to worry about it bumping into anything or whatever. Alright, taking a look up here. My hydrogen gas is definitely running thin. A dormant hydrogen vent is much to blame for that. Yeah, both dormant hydrogen vents to blame. But that's okay. I'm not going to sweat it. I have other methods of power, so it's probably not going to be critical. Okay, so the transit tube. What I was hoping to do is to have the transit tube drop people off here and maybe have a checkpoint. Maybe have transit tube access. What have I been making the others out of copper? Have they all been copper? Yeah. I guess you wouldn't want to necessarily run the risk of having them be lead if they overheat themselves. And I do have some copper. So I could put a transit access maybe here. Which means, let's see, there is nothing that runs in these here. So I could just have it be a straight run like that. But I really need to build these walls so that my dupes don't leave the base. Ooh, we're running into body temperature issues now. Let's uproot. And replace with Weezeworts. It's going to be annoying to fertilize there, but, you know, we do what we have to. Okay, we got new printables. Let's go for brine. Now that I'm printing out water. Gonna pause so that I might deposit water over here. Okay, still don't have that constructed. Come on, dupes. Come on now. Gotta get it done sometime today. So, checking in on our rocket here. We are about half done. Okay, there we go. Now it's enclosed. And I will be digging a tube for it. Let's go and destroy buildings. I think I am going to... Let's not destroy this just yet. What I will need to do is destroy a little bit, just so that I get access to where I need to go. But I don't want to fully commit to the destruction. Alright, so there's one Weezewort. Likely I'm going to need to get another. Why is the power off in my electrolyzers? Ah, yes. There was some important power that I snipped. I see. I see. Worry not, I shall fix it. Alright, one more Weezewort is what we said we needed to get that proper cooling going. Ooh, it is actually, I guess because of the constant use of steel here. Just cranking out the steel like we have been. We have kind of a hot hydrogen chamber here. Not all that ideal. So I think what I'm going to do is pause the refinery. How hot is the steam or the oil? Yeah, it's pretty hot. I'm going to pause the refinery just to let it cool down some. Why is Oh, because it's just below the triggering temperature. Let's say 375 Fahrenheit. To kick off the other steam turbine to try to mitigate some of the extra heat. I think you see where I'm going with this. And then the other thing I'd like to do is to run it all the way down here and over to the volcano taming, so that getting to volcano taming is quick, easy, allowing us to do it more rapidly. Now it does mean that this, I do have heavy watt wire nearby, so that's not an issue at all. Getting that plugged in. All right, we got about to this point, and then what I'm going to have to do is knock out some stuff that blocks me. But yeah, that's a good little project there. All right, checking in on space. 0.8 cycles left. Now, there's a reason I'm keeping these doors closed rather than hooked up to the space scanner. Because, oh, we really don't need to be feeding this any more steam. Quit doing that. Speaking of steam, how is my water filtration? Clean and ready to go. That's what I like to see. The desalinator is cranking away. So, I am running a transit tube to be able to more easily volcano tame, and trying to work on the monument as well. This here will eventually have data, but we don't have, that return trip hasn't happened yet, so no worries there. Our ranch, 3 critters and 3 critters. We are out of Drecklet eggs entirely, so... Oh, hi! You don't belong out here. I have no idea why you weren't automatically wrangled up. That's okay, we can grab you now. Alright, let's check in on the... Oh, yeah. So the lime... the fossils that we've been going after, we definitely have made some good progress digging up those fossils. So we'll continue those digs. This Wheezewort needs to be delivered. And then I did want another Wheezewort because body temperature, once you're on the threshold, usually is pretty bad. So let's take a look at temperature right now. This kiln probably has cranked out enough. Yeah, we have enough ceramic because the top is going to be glass and diamond. So let's cancel the ceramic. It will cool this area down a lot, but obviously I can't take those Wheezeworts. What Wheezeworts can I take? Well, that is a very good question. I haven't yet repaired my checkpoint either. Not that I really need to. I've been going... I mean, you all know. I went to great lengths to make sure that my checkpoint here didn't have germs or anything. I have a hanging pot there protecting it, but it still helps to make sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's, so to speak. Alright, any Weezeworts I can steal up here? Oh, yes. Let me take this one. And that is going into this little guy. You'll say no CDs available only because I haven't dug it up yet. Alright. Now, Volcano Taming. Oh, right, because the plant. And the ladder. Here, I'll just cancel that for now. I don't believe there's any other plants in the way. And then when we come over here, we'll cut this like that. And we can have the checkpoint be here. Great. Okay. Well, the rest of this is pretty straightforward. Okay. Transit tube access. Let's make it out of gold, I guess. We're about to get a lot of gold from taming this volcano anyway, so might as well. And then there should be heavy watt wires pretty close by because of the steam. There are. The only issue is they're hard to access, so I need to make a plate here, a joint plate. And I'm also going to need to pay attention right now to this. Because we're 98% of the way done. I used the clock here as an indicator. So we'll open up those doors so our returning rocket doesn't break the bunker doors. Because that would not be good. Alright, done. Nice and connected. And then transit tubed. Well, that snakes around quite a lot, but I think it works. Alright, so once the cycle is done, once the rocket is completed, you'll get a little notification that it is inbound. Space mission completed. And then it doesn't instantly come home. It takes a minute. So, right, as you can see. So the bunker doors are now opened. Rocket is thwump. It's going to outgas a whole lot of steam, and then it dropped all the databanks. So let me show you this. As you can see here in the research of this carbon asteroid, all of the data is checked 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. And those are the 50 databanks that were dropped. And having researched that, now I know what the world is made out of. It's made out of refined carbon, coal, diamond, isoresin, and niobium. Now, isoresin and niobium are materials that you can never, ever, ever obtain on your starting asteroid. These are space materials only, and they're very most of them have very special properties. And then you can also get an artifact. So what this little artifact is, this modern art here, has a decor radius of plus 20. And the way you use this, if we go to decor, let's figure out an area that could use such an artifact. A spot of the base that's ugly. Okay, so this ranch is a little ugly, right? So if you go to furniture, and I select pedestal, let me stick a pedestal here, and we can stick that artifact, that modern art that we found, and put that on that pedestal. That's the only use for the artifacts that you, or most of the artifacts that you obtain. Next up, I want to put my databanks in this box. Oh, okay, here we are. Databanks. in that box. So the databanks are going to allow us to research with this virtual planetarium stuff like solid fuel combustion. What I want to do is I want to start researching to petroleum engines. So about rockets. Let me go back about rockets again. On Steam, sorry, I'm not explaining this well. The way cargo works, you can store solid cargo, liquid cargo, and gas cargo on your ship to bring home space materials. So, for instance, the iso resin and the niobium, I would need a cargo bay in order to store these materials. Now, what I can tell you is if I take a look at the research again, the solid cargo is so heavy that a steam rocket, a steam engine without solid fuel combustion booster will never ever be able to take off. There's no amount of fuel that will allow it to take off. So there's really no point in researching solid cargo before you research other fuel combustion methods, because solid cargo by itself on just steam alone won't get you anywhere. You will not be able to launch. And of course, I'm using Ani-Assistant rocket calculator. So yeah, I'm going to start researching towards petroleum and all that. But another thing I wanted to do here is, let's set this to 270 Fahrenheit. I want to start refueling this rocket because I can do a mission to this carbon asteroid and do its 5 research for more databanks. But also, my sine curve is sort of stuck here because I don't have a gantry, do I? Oh boy. Here we go. What happened to my gantry? What do I need? Oh god. Sorry. I will rescue him as soon as I am able. Automation wire. And a signal switch. Alright. Setting that up to super high priority. And now that the rocket's landed, I'm going to go ahead and close the bunker doors so that no impacts can impact me. And now, as you can see, I am refueling, and the max... I'm basically going to be running an identical mission to the other asteroid, so my steam max hasn't changed at all. So I'm going to unassign sine curve to the command capsule. But I want to hook up a way to retract the gantry so I don't destroy it when I run my space missions. So no researchers assigned. That's a lie. So yeah, sine curve's here. I think that just hasn't updated because sine curve is still like in space or something. I don't know. That will go away. Where is sine curve anyway? I don't know. But yeah, we've got the modern art. There's nowhere to sweep it up. So I'm just going to have to wait until that pedestal... Oh, the pedestal's already done. So if I click the pedestal here and scroll down to... Here's the modern art. Select it. Have it as a priority 9. And that should pretty up this this ranch a bit. Sine curve. Yeah, okay. Sine curve has the ability to do all the advanced research, so... I don't know what that stupid warning is saying. So the databanks that I just grabbed are being stored in here, and then they'll be used in the virtual planetarium to research the interstellar research, which is part of the solid fuel combustion that I do not have yet. Alright, petroleum and crude oil. Sweep. Let's try to get the liquid gate back in, just because. So, crude oil first, sweep only, and crude. So I'll be right now. My priorities are rocket missions and rocket research, for that matter. And then my other priority is the monument, because that is one of the goals of this entire series. So I already have a third of it. And then my last priority is the Volcano Taming, which I am doing the transit tubing to make that go faster. But that's sort of a lower priority compared to other things. Whoa, hydrogen is now very thin. Alright, sine curve. What is going on with your research skill? Oh, he was literally researching, I think. Yeah. 1 interstellar research. I don't know why. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Yeah, I actually don't know. I'm going to ignore that warning. That warning's just, like, honestly simply wrong. Okay, so now we have a gantry that can retract. Okay, we got crude oil there. Let's do the petroleum. Come on. Done. Beautiful. And here, as you can see, Sine Curve is using the virtual planetarium in order to research for space. So he's working towards solid fuel. I'm just looking at the hydrogen that I have in these tunnels to see if there might be a reason to use it. I'm going to change this Atmos sensor to 3000. Because the hydrogen in here got really cold. Well, not cold, but cool. And it'll do the same thing here. To try to just replace some of the hydrogen that we used. You know, because we're running low on it. So, checking furniture here. I have the ceramic, the plastic. I don't have the steel. I already knew that. Let me check temperatures. Okay, so the bay in which we have this hydrogen is still pretty hot. It's hotter than I'd like it to be, significantly. What I think I'm going to do is brute force it. With just a bunch of these 4 Reeswarts. That normally, these Reeswarts are cooling down our oxygen. But most of this oxygen is actually going into the suits. So I'm not all that worried about that. I mean, you know, whatever. Let's take a look at the fine art. The modern art. So here it is. If we take a look at the decor overlay, as you can now see, the pedestal plus... Yeah, the pedestal is putting off a plus 54, which is, you know, pretty. I don't get it. I love it. And making that ranch prettier. So the artifacts that you get from space will definitely help you open the skills panel and teach a duplicant the advanced research skill to use this building. Excuse me, but it doesn't... Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't really care. I bet if I saved and loaded, it would fix itself. He's just being weird. Okay, let's prioritize this construction project up a little bit. So I work towards the volcano taming. So there is a gold volcano in here, and we are going to want to tame it. I mean, that was my goal, right? Over here, we are just cranking out a bunch of lime so that we can make steel once things get cooler. Oh, speaking of which, cooler. Let's work that out. And we're also going to need to forge a bunch of glass. So let's do a 50Q forging of glass. Because if we look ahead, the monument top is going to require glass. In fact, it's 50 is probably more than I need. Well, definitely more than I need, but whatever. High plastic, sure. Have 500 kilograms of plastic. Happily, I'll add. So that also means that this water here is going to get pretty hot, making all that glass, but I don't really care. That water does not matter to me, I think is a way to put it. Another thing I might be able to do, let's see, base, transit tube, so the ceiling is too low for this to work. I could go down and around. Yeah, let me do that. Because I had already done it once in the past. I'm just going to have it be to exit out here for convenience. I'm not going to have a checkpoint, though. Although, honestly, I think it's a shorter run. Well, we want to still dig these up. I think it's a shorter run just to run it off of this tube here. Significantly shorter. So, in order to do that, I just need to remove this. Run it here and up. Alright. So as they're working on that, I am still refueling this rocket, and we're almost done. We're almost done. So if I show the map, I'm obviously going to want to go somewhere where I haven't done the research. And you can calculate the, you know, right here you can calculate the total thrust, the weight penalty of all of the rocket items, and the total range. And we need to get our range up to 10,000. As I said, to get my range up to 7,000, I need about 7,000 kilograms of steam. But if you weren't to use the Ani calculator like I am, right in that screen is how you would do it. You would do it here. You'd say, oh, you know, to get here, oh, I need, you know, more steam until it hits 10K. So, the Wheeze boards to cool down the steam, let's have as super high priorities, as is the molten glass. The molten glass is hard to power up while the rock crusher's running, though. That is a known issue. I'm going to move these planters a little bit. Actually, just this one. And that would allow me to do straight heavy wire. Oh. No, it wouldn't. Oh, crud. I just, yeah, we're gonna have some overheat here. Power. Conductive wire bridges. This was probably made out of lead. Thank you, thank you. Fixing that stupidity of mine. Because, right, you don't want these to touch. So this is now high priority. And while that's off, what does that cut power to? That cuts power to this refining station. And then the idea here is... I even need to go higher. Whoopsie poopsie. Right, we'll get that set up. Alright. So the virtual planetarium is going to have to be put on hold. We almost have all the steam we need. Now, the reason why I didn't invest a lot of, well, to be honest, a lot of anything into the steam generation is steam-powered rockets get phased out very, very, very quickly. And once they're phased out, we're done with them. Okay, so we're done now with steam. Let's go ahead and set this to an unreasonably high temperature. And then the rest of the steam gets just pushed out to space. Building a... Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fine. So this rocket is all set to go. And I am going to be assigning... well, actually, it's possible that SignCurve finishes off the solid rocket research before I launch again. It's not super urgent that I launch again, but you shouldn't have a rocket sitting there on the, let's call it tarmac. I don't think it's really tarmac. But you shouldn't have a rocket sitting on the tarmac like that. Okay, so this overheat wire is overheated because I combined the lines briefly. That was the net result of that. Okay, so this transit tube's looking good. And people are already using this access over here. That's awesome. And the exit of this tube will allow us to tame this volcano. So there's the solid fuel research done. Now, let's extend the gantry. Stick sine curve in the rocket. Sweep up this copper and regolith, and send him on his merry way. So he's ready to go. So if you take a look here, I have a total range of 10,005 kilometers. So basically a perfect amount. And then we should retract the gantry so it doesn't get destroyed. And as soon as I start sweeping up the regolith, I guess I could have the regolith fall. Just to make sure that we launch on time. Okay, we got all the regolith. We had a little... Oh, we got everything. Perfect. And... launch. And there it is, just like the first mission. I'm going to close the doors just so that we protect everything down here from impact strikes. Hey, the gantry still broke. I guess it's in the way still. I need to have it nudged over... I don't know. I'm bad at building gantries, clearly. Well, if the gantry's getting broken there, I'll nudge it over one. See if that's enough. so here's the solid fuel thruster. As you can see, it burns refined iron and oxalite to increase rocket exploration distance. It's a booster that you add to your rocket. It's not its own engine, or that's not how you normally would treat it. Yeah, that gantry I think will be good. Let's hope. Alright, let's get everything up here constructed quick. We're running those. Yet another space mission. And all of the data banks I'm getting, I'll be able to put towards, you know, really, really nice research. Investing it forward. So the hydrogen in the steam chambers are dropping temperature. Once it gets like under 100 Fahrenheit or so, I'll start running more steel again. Let me check my manufactured material. So steel is just shy of 2K. And for the rest of this monument, we'll need, I think, 10K? Yeah, we'll need 10,000. I'm also working on the glass, of course. Right now, we are still cranking out the molten glass. This water really hasn't changed too bad in temperature. But here, you can see molten glass coming through the pipes and forming solid glass once it lands. Another thing I wanted to check is lime. So that would be... what is it? Consumable ore? Yeah. I have a decent amount of lime. I've been trying to stockpile the lime so I can make steel in bulk once temperatures get sort of controlled. We still are treating this as cooling, this aqua tuner. I mean, it's using a considerable amount of our power, but I haven't built a bypass to it. But if we check the temperatures of my robo-miners, they're all fine. They're all very temperate and fine. There. Now the gantry, I think, will be functionally out of the way, which is good. Let's mop up this space water. This water has literally gone to space. Not that it makes it special or anything, but I'll mop it up anyway, for fun. And just for fun, I'm gonna sweep up my space dock. I don't need to. I just want to make that clear. I'm doing it for lack of something else to do. But the storage bins here will dump the regolith and iron and all that. One thing that might be useful is dumping it really close to ground level. So that if it has metals in it that is useful, we can utilize those metals. Just a thought. Oh, my batteries look very, very sad. As you can see, even the coal's kicked off. It's not ideal to have power problems this late. But, you know, I have a lot of transit tubes, and I haven't made a lot of effort in super, super late game power supply. There are some very late game power supply designs that give you ridiculous amounts of power for relatively low effort. I haven't utilized any of those designs here. They would take a lot of time, and they aren't, like, super necessary, which is why I haven't done them. But I just want to let you all know that they exist. Okay, so this space mission is about half over. I'm going to need to priority dig this out so I can open up my bunker doors, but I am out of time. So, as I mentioned last episode, if you have any suggestions for projects for me to work on, drop your ideas on Discord. You can find the link to Discord at radamat.com. Thank you all for watching. I will catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.